Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, Breaker of Seven Seals. Fear. That's what you're witnessing. If you understand that, you have understanding of what's going on in the world today. Fear. Pressure. See, I've been for years trying to give you the math, and if you studied that, understood, you'd be a very wise person, because you can see, you see with your eyes. And this language here, you see with your mind too, but your mind doesn't have eyes. So that's another thing, like this language. I hate this language. See? They say, do you see that? And then we're talking about you see a thing, you understand something. They use the same thing because sight is their highest sense. So that's why the connection there. But I've been telling you how the universe works. That's the engine. It's made of energy, that's it. Right there, once you understand the universe expands and contracts, that tells you, well, as it expands, be less energy everywhere, because you make it larger and larger and larger, right? Then the energy gets weaker, it's thinner and thinner and thinner, weaker, And you say, well, what happens when it gets highly expanded? You say, oh, well, it'll be very less energy. It'll be a situation where there'll be much energy per square inch, put it that way. See? But then it contracts, and then you got a tremendous amount of energy every square inch, right? If you understand it, it's a very simple concept, right? And if you understand pressure says there's no such thing as there's no, they call no net forces. It means everybody has the same amount of energy, same amount of force. It's not just some philosophy, brothers. It's just basic mathematics. Applying it to your condition. See, but most of you don't understand it. Maybe none of you understand it. You will understand it if you survive. Because the point is to raise you up to God's. It means you have to have that knowledge. As Master Muhammad said, you will not be successful unless you learn the mathematical language. If you want to be successful, learn the mathematical language. He also says, you will not return home unless you have thorough knowledge of self. What does thorough knowledge of self means? Well, we're part of the universe. We are the universe. That means you have to have thorough knowledge of the universe too. Anyway, fear. Fear is a very important element, especially now, in this time. As the Quran and the Bible tells you, going in the future, there will be no fear. Because what causes fear is loss of power. And we suffered the greatest fear possible ever, Holocaust. Right? To maintain our form. Those are pretty simple concepts to me, but I guess it's complicated. Right? And who's willing to give our form, we're going to suffer energy deprivation. You take a rubber band and you pull it, and it doesn't tighten up, it just, right? So, as the universe expands like this, that's also tension. It pulls. But if you resist, then the tension becomes greater and greater and greater. If you resist being pulled apart. If you don't resist, there's no, right? And that's what some nations chose. They said, okay. And that's how Adam came about. Right? Just pulled and became weaker, his genes became weaker and weaker and weaker. His DNA became weaker and weaker and weaker. So you see what you got there. We said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to maintain our form. That means we'll be in intense tension because the universe is pulling against us. We said, no, we're going to hold our form. Hold our form. If we could do that, once it's over, we'll be on top. Be the gods. Because we maintain, right, the DNA that makes you gods. If you understand that. Anyway, fear. So, once we get home and we eliminate all the enemies, no such thing as fear. I mean, it's like sleep. Sleep is something, but what is that? Because there will be no loss of power. There'll be constant gain of power. Gain energy, gain energy, gain energy, constant gain of energy. In the expansion universe, you kept losing energy. Here, wars try to prevent energy loss. The Crimson Wars, right? The Gender Wars, right? The Fire Angel Wars. All those was trying to prevent loss of power. See? Those that, no, we don't want to lose power. I had time unprecedented trouble with devils. They don't lose power because that's what's happening. And so, and if you pay close attention, I mean, even just listen to what they say. I mean, even if you don't know the math, we got to make America great again. Start taking. Why you got to take things? If you get powerful, why you got, right? Make it again. It means you're trying to regain power, and you're losing it. And that gets this dilemma. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I've been talking about that. In fact, I probably just have a whole presentation just talking about that in very excruciating detail. Because it's very complicated. See? They're losing power, but they don't know what's driving it. See? So they blame everybody. Oh, it's China. Well, I had a presentation, though. I had a video I was going to play. I had to change my mind. I may play it tomorrow. But this Rick Wiles guy, he says, hey, wait a minute. America made China. America did make China. Why do you make China? Why do you make them strong? Why do you make them powerful? And why you maintain that way? Because you could have stopped trading with them a while back and they would have collapsed. Because you're their biggest trading partner. You're the one making money off of them. They say Amazon, most of all the stuff you get on Amazon has come from China. Okay? So if you cut it off, the same thing as far as Israel. They get it all from Arabs. They're talking about Arabs, hey man, they messing up. They call it destabilization in the Middle East. See? And part of the reason they took Syria, and most people don't know this, but Trump said take the Syrian oil. That's what they was doing. They was taking the oil from Syria. Now remember, this Syria, they attacked Syria. Remember, this is America. Don't attack anybody. We good people. They went and invaded Syria while Assad was there, right? Back when Obama was there, right? And took control of the Syrian oil. Put it based in Syria. Said, we don't want you here. See, America's so full of shit. And then they was giving oil to false Israel. Because false Israel don't have any oil. So even before that happened, the Arabs had just stopped giving the oil. That would have ended them. And so what's going on here? If they could have stopped them cold in their tracks 70-some years ago, because they totally depend upon the oil. And they're getting out again from America. America's not exporting all over to false Israel. They're getting it from the Arabs, from the Sunnis. Yeah, but they cause destabilization and all this chaos. Just stop getting all that would end up. That would have ended them years ago. Same thing with China. They could have stopped China cold years ago. Cold. So he said, what's going on here? Why are they bringing people across the border? And everybody said, this don't make sense. America's going crazy. No, they're not going crazy. It's all part of the plan. And you're right in the center of it. And the reason why you don't know about it, because that's part of the plan, to make sure you don't never ain't know about it. They said make deals shrewd at them so they won't know that this happening. So come upon them as a snare. It's all falling into place. Isn't it? Before Israel knows about it, and they know they was put up there to fool you, to keep you blind to who you are. That's what it's there for. Because then you might start asking questions. People that have vision perish. Their point is for you to perish if they cannot continue milking you. You know, the goose with the golden egg, you can't keep, then they're going to get rid of you. And the only reason why they even think about getting rid of you because they say lose control of you, and that's their last effort. If they can't, they see they're going to lose control, they're going to attack and kill them. Because think about it. If we had done to them as they did to us, you think they would be fist bumping us? You think they would be doing that? They'd be calling us brother like you think they would? No. We stupid enough to do that. At least the demons, then we follow the example. But this fear here, this fear is affecting our people. It's affecting them. They're losing power. Our people have energy, they just don't have power. That's what I meant to put. Oh, man. Should I get that? That's what I knew I even forgot something. Anyway, I'll just talk about it. You go in the book of Mark, and it's talking about, and see what if you pay close attention to that, it says they had no power over you anymore. You was the one beating yourself, not them. You was beating yourself, and they had no power over you anymore. You had been in chains, but you broke the chains. And they had you beating yourself. Why? Because you didn't have your right mind. I mean, it's very simple. So who has your mind? How did you lose your mind? They had no control. That means, so they didn't have. I mean, they had control over your mind. That's the problem. See, they had no real control over you anymore. Because you had their mind. It was just a mental thing that they had on you, that had you doing all you shouting and babbling and hurting yourself. Because they had it says you had no power, no control over you anymore. And they was fear, and it shows you the demons, they was fearful. Oh man, what you doing this for? Don't make me leave the country. I mean, it's all right there. Right? See? And the demons, they were serving the pigs, the devils, right? And they was nearby watching. But if the demons were in fear, they was in fear too. And they say, hey, what you doing? Now, please maybe leave the country. No, don't give, let me go back to my daddy's. It's my swine. Then they got to fighting off the cliff together. It's all right there. It's all about you. This was because of you. That's what Mark is telling you. It's all about you. You don't know about it because they said to come and use a snare because they keep you blind to it. And my job to wake you up, boy, you're going to be woke up. Because it's two punches. Master, I'm going to throw the first and I'm going to throw the second one. Wait for him. He threw that first one. Your first punch. See? Because it's mostly, it's a lot of it, because of where you are in a situation right now, is still because of fear. Because the man He was giving them control over himself when he didn't have to. Once the guy's mind stopped doing that. And that's what you're doing. Yeah, he was your welfare and your Section 8 and your Burger King and Popeyes and all the stuff you're doing, right? When Elijah Muhammad told you could take control of your energy. You give it a quality, but you let them give it a quality. Let them determine the quality of it. Then you get mad. Man, I'm tired of eating this damn shit. I'm tired of you taking that shit in there. Well, you must not be tired enough. Because you don't have to. You got positive, you got energy. Now if you keep it positive, that means wherever you go, that positive goes with you. It protects you. Only thing you got to do is decide what quality you want to give it. That's all. What quality you want to give it. So the fear, brothers and sisters, I'm definitely going to keep this short today. The fear. See? So look at their fear. What it says about their fear. And again, it comes back to you again. Men's hearts failing them for fear. For fear. Fear, fear, fear. See? Their hearts are failing because of fear. Not because they OD'd or somebody shot them. For fear of something they see, of anticipation of something they see is going to take place over in the Middle East. That's coming here. It's all there. It's about you again. And what happened in the Middle East that caused them to have that fear? Because what's in the Middle East right now is the seal to your mind. That's sealed by the mind. That's what false Israel is. Seal your mind up. Angel seal, your mind is sealed. Sealed by false Israel being there because it takes away your vision, it takes away who you are. See? You be loving your enemies because they're your enemies. See? You understand, brothers and sisters? Keep you coming together. No people without vision perish. So you don't see us. They erased everything Elijah said, but they had to see because Elijah he was the one. So they had to focus on him directly. That's where Farrakhan coming into Farrakhan, and he's annulling everything Elijah Muhammad said, but he keeps using Elijah Muhammad's name. He's annulling everything Elijah, and we got proof. Elijah said you'd be fools to stay here and land of prison. So he said Farrakhan's a fool. He said he's a fool. We got the tapes. Great fear. And this anticipation of having heart attacks and strokes and seizures. What's happening when it actually happens? It's about to happen soon. You feel bad. Oh, I'm gonna ease your fear. I'm the prescription. I'm gonna take everything back. I'm gonna make America great again. So forth, so on. That's what happens. When you have a calamity, the nation tries to defend itself. Your body's under attack. Your immune system kicks in. The problem is your immune system's strong enough to solve the problem. So America's in trouble. They got infection, so to speak, and he's part of the immune system. He's leading the charge of the immune system. Hey, I can solve this. I keep you healthy again. Make you wealthy again. That's another concept you need. You study the Bible, you see, these are just examples how the world works. I mean, our bodies work with mathematics, complicated mathematics. So if you study it, then you understand the better idea of mathematics, you apply it other places. So he's the immune system kicking in. try to solve the plagues that America's been hit with. But it's not strong, so they can save it. Too great for him. Pressure's too great for him. Counterfeit power. He has no power, but they're going to realize in a minute. And when it says destroy the wisdom of the wise, that means this whole reality won't work anymore. Everything's happening. You know, that stuff going to the so-called Middle East right now, that's backfire. That's Trump. If he had worked in JCPOA, see, stuff is backfiring on him. False Israel, they're writing an obituary, because what's happening right now, if I told you years ago what's happening to them, see? And so if you knew about the abomination desolation, okay, you had some idea what's happening. They're going to do that because you know what's happening to them, their consequence. They're going to have an evil consequence, evil, beyond imagination. And so, this season is past. There's nothing there. And all Trump is talking, all this stuff that used to work, you're going to take Pat, you're going to do this. None of it's going to work, and none has worked so far. Nothing. He had to back off on those terrorists. He's creating images all over the place. My sister. Huh? Excuse me. Everything backfired. Everything will backfire. Nothing will work on him anymore. And it destroys wisdom because he's going to apply that. Just saying, well, it won't work. It used to work. It don't work anymore. Those talks are not going to be successful. They will not be successful, I can guarantee you that. Yeah. Mistake process. Okay. I'm going to do a format here, brothers and sisters. I'm going to see how this works out. But what I want to do is I want to choose a chapter of the INJIL that speaks primarily to what's going on right now. Then elaborate on it. Right? So, we'll see how it works out. So right now, chapter 12 is War in Heaven. So, let's see what we have here. Chapter 12. And it talks about, and you go in chapter 12, I'm not going to read it, but since you can read it at your own leisure. But it talks about certain things, a couple things I want to focus on here. It talks about, I put it in 3 parts here, right? It talks about a war breaking out in heaven between Michael's angels. Now, if you talk to these people that claim they were Elijah Muhammad and claim they were Farrakhan, well, some of them are with Farrakhan, they have no idea of Michael. They never mention the name Michael, do they? Because that's Master Muhammad. He's the one who's going to deliver us, but remember, we ain't going anywhere, so we don't need Michael anyway, right? He's also David. Anyway, I don't want to go into that kind of brothers and sisters, but the point is that the wars, phase 1 is going on right now. It's abomination, desolation. So when you see that, know its desolation is near. That means false Israel's destruction is near. The destruction is very profound because the purpose of them being there is to keep us from realizing who we are. If they're destroyed, then we instantly realize who we are. That's why I say study vectors. Because if you read that story, he says, okay, well, why, you can put a balloon underwater, you hold it down, right? Well, as long as you hold it, it's there. Unless it comes, get out and come up someplace else. But if you're in a restrained situation, right? And if something happens to your hand, you move it, it's going to pop up immediately because that's your force. The force, your vector force was holding it down. And if it's moving, it's going to come immediately. So the point is why do we come instantly instantly as a well right army. Okay? Why do we come instantly together like that? Simply because if we come in, it means it was something that was holding us back. And it was removed. Okay? Come a exceedingly great army, that's what. So how do you come and it says suddenly? Exceedingly great army. So that means it was, every action has an opposite reaction. So you're reacting to something. Because if you use the action, it wouldn't happen suddenly like that. Because it happens as a result of something that happened someplace else. And it's simultaneous. It's simultaneous with the one in heaven. It's simultaneous with what's happening in the Middle East. So that means it's something about that that's holding you back. And if you put it all together, somebody holding you back on your mind. It's your mind that was locked down. It's your mind. So that means something had your mind locked down, had you beaten yourself with your mind, and it's over in the Middle East. And it's the vector that's doing it. Once that vector moves up, so you suddenly come together. You see how you look at this, brothers and sisters? So you look at it from that point and say, oh, well, something happened in the Middle East that's going to, what is it, what's over there? And something going to happen to it, that something going to be, that vector has to be diverted or destroyed. Because, if you hold the balloon down, you got to move your hand or you got to get rid of your hand. Because balloon comes up. You see? Or does the balloon have enough pressure, enough force? But the point is that their power, they saw the Europeans again, their power is broken over there. So who breaks it? There's something over there that breaks it. And destroys, and is a vector component to it. Let's keep it because when that goes, we rise up. So I hope I'm gonna leave it there, brothers. I mean, it's very simple. If you add, subtract, think through. So okay, well, we're here captive. We're here captive. There's something over there. Because once it's broken, suddenly we come together. So it's a vector, it's a force over there. And it's a power, so power is a force, right? So it's a power over there that's keeping us from coming together. That's what it's saying. And they fear it. They fear it dramatically because they fear it dramatically because they said I have a heart failure. So when all these things happen together, they have a heart failure, something happens in the Middle East, because their powers are broken, same time we rise, same time they have a great fear of heart attacks because of that situation that's related to us. And then they attack us. You get it together? That's the whole situation. That's most of it right there. And things happen before they happen because it happened before they was prepared for it. I mean, they was planning this. It just happened before they was ready. That's why they recognized it. Because they recognized what happened over there. But it happened before they was prepared for it, so therefore it goes against them. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. There's a lot I can say about that, but it's on there. Move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, but then it says, okay, the next stage here, right here says, what broke out, and it says, who? It says, okay, who was defeated? dragging his angel. So this person was fearing something. Remember over there, dragging. So they were connected with him. That person had this, but they see is this dragon and his angel are connected to him, because remember he says something over there. It's defeat that happened. Their power is broken, and then we see in there who's being broken. That means now you can identify that as has something to do with America. See, all the information you could draw there, and they defeated. False Israel's taken down. That's it. Okay? Because that's the vector that was holding our mind down. That vector is destroyed. You got Farrakhan telling you ain't going nowhere. You got the preachers telling you this stuff. Right? Oh, that's false Israel. We want to help them, and they God's people. Yeah, they are God's people. Satan, you see, you put it together. Satan is God as well. So if he's in God's world, then the world is operating under Satan. Only one that wasn't operating under Satan, right, was Joshua. What they call him, Jesus, depending on what translation's talking about. There's only one, and the God, because Michael and them got into it, right? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, because whose works are there? That's why Jesus said, no, your father's the devil. You works you do. Whose works they doing? Is those God's works? If those are God's works, they're doing it in God's what kind of stuff, then damn, what the fuck make out with Satan? That's why I use the generic form of God. Because you say, what God are you talking about? Since God he says he has control all the nations. He says some, he says control. He says, so that mean America too. They also got to control our people. They didn't control Joshua. He was outside his control. So you can read that on leisure, right? But the other thing that happens, that another vector goes away. See? Because we come together, and we get to come together, but part of that coming together as a seed of the great army is we have to remove the division factor out, divisive factor out. The accuser of our brothers cast down. Because we can't come together as a seed of the great army as long as we got a seed of the great army, right? Unless we got division amongst us. And so I said, at the same time, because see, that vector was reinforcing the demons. Because Farrakhan, he never speaks against false Israel, does he? He's reinforcing. So therefore, you have, say you got two vectors behind each other, right? You got a car behind it. Well, both of them are vectors, right? But there's one behind is moving faster, then it's going to hit the one in front and move it even faster because it's adding energy to it. So Farrakhan's deal was to keep us blind, ignorant. He's with them. So false Israel, because he said we ain't going anywhere. He's supporting it. So when that goes down, the vector that was pushing him, so they said, "But you can't go. You don't have any gas or anything, right?" So the car behind you is pushing you. Man, I don't know if they don't do that. I don't see that anymore. I'll tell you about the kid when they used to have used to push cars, and then you have cars that, hey man, give me a push, and he pushes the gas anywhere. That's Farrakhan's job. False is going, he don't stop. He don't have an engine, he going nowhere. It's more brothers and sisters. So the demons also, all these come together. Why does it come together? Because they understand the factors. They're part of the negative factor. Oh, what you doing? Now remember the chief demon. What are you doing? But then he starts pleading right away. because he had no power to begin with. He was just BSing you, tricking you with your mind. He got you beating yourself because he gave you a false mind. You working on the cross around your neck and everything. Good morning. And then, okay, let's look at this quickly, right? Now this is the angel key here. Now if you see it's right here, right? This is the whole problem. That's talking about JCPOA and everything else, right? It was on the foot of nations, then they rose up to here, right? Because they normally supposed to be up top here because they're the Islamic. Well, I don't want to go into details about that process, but the point is, what it's saying is that this is at the point where they actually in a conflict with America and Britain. Then this happens. Yeah? That's the war, and they win. So that chapter 18. They say, Iran can't defeat America. They're going to defeat it. They don't come over here. They don't need to. They'll send a goat over here. But they don't need to. Kick them out. That's going to bring about the economic destruction. Because see, they don't really want to just kill them outright. They want them to suffer. Put them in furnace for the evils they've done. Oops. Made a mistake, though. I'm not going, so there you go. So let's see if I did this right. Yeah, okay. Nope, didn't do it right. One bounces. Okay. I put this together, I missed something. I see it right now. Let me close out. Oh no, I have. Oh, this. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. I know I did that. Well. Yes, I didn't. I can't keep blaming. Well, whatever. What's there? Oh, I see. Wrong place. Wrong place. There you go. I see what I did. No? Why is that like that? That should have been. It's right here. Okay, I see what happened. I think I see what happened. I made a mistake. Okay. Okay, I think I got it now. Okay. We'll try this again, then close out. There you go. Okay. No glitch. I'm gonna close out, brothers and sisters. Well, let me talk a couple of things first. See, the dilemma is complicated, but once you understand, all the pieces fall into place. Okay? Because for us, Israel, America and Britain, I mean, Christians and Jews, each other strove 2,000 years. They was on the verge of being wiped out in 1940s, 1930s, 1940s. Verge of being wiped out. So-called final solution. Everybody was on board with it. And then Elijah Muhammad said, we're too safe for him, so no, they put everything on the brakes. Swoop, full stop. Because the greater fear was us. See? Start losing control of us. Start losing control of us, I said, and when Mark said they lost control altogether. That's when the portal, everything fell apart. They started losing control back in the so-called Civil War. And so their fear started increasing, but they wouldn't let you know, so they're doing it in secret. So when Elijah Muhammad came down, that put that fear on steroids. So they had to put full brakes on that. Right? So they put false Israel up. And they started building up China. I said, why would they build China? They built China. America made China a superpower. China was a basket case back there in the 50s. They made him a superpower. And he said, why do things all come into place? And then all of a sudden people come to, you start putting, you say, what's going on here? So you don't, because you don't understand, so therefore, you know, so all this is their long-term plan, because they said that they got to get rid of us. But that's a dilemma for them, because we're the source of their creativity. You have to be creative to make bricks without straw, if you know what I mean. We're source of creative. We're the silver and the gold. Those of you who have been paying attention should maybe understand it by now. But yet still, if we become powerful, then we get revenge. And that's the problem, right? It's like having I don't know what to use an analogy. I was going to say, you have an animal that you, and they move on. But the point is that it's two things, right? They fear us, but they benefit from us. And so they got to balance that. And so they put falsehoods up there. But remember, they hate the Jews. And Jews know that. So they know why they all of a sudden love them. Because they know they need them. Because if you understand Daniel, both of them enslaved us. I mean, that's why remember, even the Quran. The Quran needs the INJIL, because you can't find anything in the Quran to tell you what the golden calf is. Tell you don't know what it is. Not even the jinn. Well, I mean, you might be able to get that one, but INJIL explains that. Anyway, so here you are. And they said, okay, man, they put us up here, they gave us this here to stabilize. Like they say, if Iran gets a nuclear weapon, man, it's going to stabilize them. No, it didn't stabilize, at least stabilize because you let false Israel have one. But see, you know, See, all the bullshit's coming out because everybody see America what it really is. I told you I told you for years ago, they pull a skirt over your neck. You see right now, over here, you see, America, I mean, this world order is gone. Nobody's going to ever listen to America again about UN laws, genocide, all that kind of stuff, because they see it going on and they're supporting all of it. It's clear. So the point is that destruction is closed in on them. Their world order is closing on them. BRICS closing on them. Their economy is closing on them. Right? See? Everything's backfiring on them. Because the JCPOA, and plus the fact they got false over is backfiring on them. Because now, as a result of doing that, they made Iran a superpower. Forget about Master Muhammad, that part of it. You see, everything is backfiring on them. It's closing in on them. So Trump says, oh, terrorists. Well, yeah, you the one caused all this problem. You've been ripping off everybody. Oh, he ripping us off. You was ripping off everybody. Everything's backfiring. So he's walk against the wall. And so he's the savior now. Oh, he's going, because he says he's going to get us out of it, because that's what they want to hear. Communists blowing up. They said the price is going to go crazy in a couple more days. And he's talking about invading countries. They've been attack countries for doing just what he said he's going to do. Now he's talking about using nuclear weapons. That if that's not show desperation, what is it? Because you nuclear weapons on Iran, even though you know Iran doesn't have. But see, Iran is threatening. That's the reason Iran is threatening to false Israel. That's the problem. And they can't let false Israel get destroyed because then we wake up. They want us to wake up. So they got to go all in to keep false Israel protected. And false Israel know that's the only reason. But in the meanwhile, they see me waking up. So it says they see me waking up because they said they stood by us, destroyed it as soon as it was born. I mean, they watching. They know. Let's come up being a nation. Say no. So that's the dilemma. Oh man, we can't stop it now. So we can hold on to them until they come out that womb. But when they come out, they got to get them. When they come out, they come out a exceedingly great army. So we got to do it before they do it. You see? And false Israel knows that. And then once they get rid of us, then they're going to get rid of them. Because they only need them to keep us down. And so they said, well, hell, we can't sit our hands and sit on our ass and just let it happen. Right? Because they know when Iran will be the one to take them down. But Iran's, see, this is the dilemma. Iran's the one to take them down, but Iran is keeping them from taking over the Middle East. Because that's their goal, to take over the whole Middle East. And they well, I'm not going into detail, but that's what the prophecy says. Arabia, why they're not saying it? But that's the actual fact. I mean, actual what it says. So the problem is, oh man. So we got to get rid of Iran, because Iran's eventually going to be the one to knock us out. If you understand Genesis, sackcloth. But America don't want to get rid of Iran, but they do want to get rid of Iran because they're trying to stop Iran because they don't want Iran. See, they don't want Iran to take out false Israel until they've taken us out. See the problem? They want them to take out false Israel, not now. Not until they take us out. Because they take false Israel out, that means it's too late because we rise up. See how complicated this thing gets? They don't game this thing to their computers and everything. They're trying to say, well, damn, it's a timing thing. The false Israel knows this. So they're up against the wall and says, well, we gotta take the Middle East. Because if we take the Middle East, we got nuclear weapons. They try to stop and give nuclear weapons. If we take over the Middle East, we got to control the oil that America, these Europeans need. Now they can't mess with us because we got nuclear weapons and we got to control the oil. Now remember, they've been at war with each other. So now we got the upper hand, finally. But we can't do it unless we take out Iran. And we can't take out Iran, so we got to get America to take out Iran. America said, well, if I take out Iran right now, then false Israel going to, right? If I take out Iran right now, then there's nobody to take out false Israel when time comes, right? If I don't take out Iran now, they're going to take out false Israel, And then these niggas gonna wake up immediately. I mean, damn, this is complicated. That's his dilemma. See, I'm trying to get you to understand. That's the dilemma. That's the concept. That they says. They say all conspire together. False, and Ishmael and them is involved in it. Because if we come and see the great army, we're gonna come and take our land back. And so they want to keep false Israel up there too, keep us from knowing that. So therefore they got a dilemma because false Israel wants to take their land because that's the only way they can control, survive after they got rid of us. You see? But no, you ain't taking our land. But we can't get rid of you because we get rid of you, then they're gonna take our land. I'm talking about dilemma. So I'm gonna take one day and just really go into more detail about this. I'm trying to show all the pieces here. That's what got me confused. That's why I say be in derision. How are we gonna do this? And while they going trying to figure out how to put this together, the timing right, they said what days will be cut short. And that's why I'm not gonna make us move before they can put it together. And that's gonna blow this whole thing up. I'm gonna leave it there, brothers and sisters. Oh, well, let me say one last thing. I think I mentioned this earlier. Check here. Like I said, you have so much energy, brothers and sisters. We all have the same amount of energy. It's how you manage it. And if you're not managing, someone's managing it for you. And that's one of the reasons why we got to get out of here. Elijah Muhammad spoke that too. Because they're managing our energy. They're managing our energy. And so they give it a shit. Because they manage energy, right? They give you $1 million worth of shit. And I give you $1 million. Okay, well, I'm going to give you $1 million worth of shit. Still $1 million as far as consequence is concerned. You got $1 million. And so they give you this shit. And they take it, right? They eating the food that you give them, and they give you the shit back. And they give you the shit to eat. The shit that comes out of their ass, they give it to you, right? And the hard work that you do, you give it them as food. It's a symbiotic relationship. And they want to keep that going, but like I said, they can't keep going forever. And so therefore, you are in fear because you don't realize that you don't have to put up with that. That's why the man of Mark, he didn't have to put up with it. He just didn't know. He didn't have his mind. Once he got his mind back in, because you have, it's like everybody have $1 million, but you let somebody control your $1 million, right? So they take your $1 million and get good stuff and give you the bad stuff because they're controlling it. So he messed up at Britney Spears. She had all that money, but her father was controlling it. And he was telling her what to do and everything else. She had to go to court and get that control of her money. And so that's the point is, and they're controlling your energy. And so therefore you walking around their names, kissing their ass, with their fake religion and everything else. And you're beating yourself up. They can't beat you anymore. You're beating yourself up. See? And so you go in there and let them control your energy. Section 8, all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's the one thing I want to show. I don't know where it is. Hold on. Okay, and then I'm going to close. I don't know. Oh, boy, where is it? Okay, I'm going to have to do this and then close. I forgot that. I don't know where I put that. Maybe it's here. Let me see. No, I didn't put it here. Okay, hold on. New format, brothers, so I have to get used to it, so bear with me if you don't mind. Where did I put that at? Oh, I know what happened. Okay. Oops. What happens, right? Should be right here. Oh, right there. There it is right there, yep. How did I walk past it? Go right past it. How did I do that? Okay, here's right here. Oh, it was the next one, I missed it. Okay, hold on. Then we'll close out. Oops, that's what happened, I see. I see now. Yep, I see what happened. That's what happened. Yep. Nope. That's what happened. Yep, that's what happened. Okay, that's what happened. Oops. That's what happened, okay. Okay, it went, that was my error. Okay, see, okay, I mentioned this earlier, so let's go over it quickly. It tells you, it gets back, I was talking about fear. It says the mother's responsible to take it, nourish the children, everything else, right? Mothers suck her children for 2 whole years. Him reside a complete time of suckling. In other words, they're nurse child. But the man, their maintenance, their clothing must be born, must. They say she must be born by a father, according to whatever they need, according to usage. Are you doing that? Better you claim you're supposed to have an angel mind, you don't. See? And so therefore you ain't doing that, so now she gotta go, she gotta do both. So she can't do both. So she gotta run the master, now he becomes a husband. He becomes a child's father. To maintain, right? Their maintenance and their clothing. Maintenance, that's food and everything else in their clothing. Must. So are you doing that? Because if you ain't, see, you ain't no man. Because that say you must. It say shall, you must. And so our sisters, they have no choice. They got to run the master. And you tell them to go to master. Go master, get some welfare. Well, you say your lazy ass because you're stupid and ignorant, because you got energy, and all you got to do is take, like I said, 5 plus 3 is 8, 2 plus 6, 8, 1 plus... You got it, but you let master control it. Because you're afraid to go out there and go out there in the world, because you find out that whatever energy you got, if you got positive or negative energy, you take it with you. So you keep your energy positive, 5 pillars. That means no matter what situation you just move to, and you're still gonna have the same. Now, but you control it now. You have just as much. You can have any more than you had with master. Have any less. Just now, instead of you eating shit cakes, now you eat chocolate cake. That's what you like. Otherwise, you eat cakes master tell you to eat. I told you that before. I said, when you get to hereafter, you control the quality of your energy. But you have to start here. A lot of Muhammad said you have to start here, or you ain't going to get there. And you're not going to get the woman's respect until you start doing your job. Because you know who she respects? She respects master. He's the one putting food on the table, or you doing something eating it. If I don't even help one cook, you sitting eating it, got your ass something in the bed, came up, bring stuff, bring your behind over here, and all this bullshit, see? And send them out to Burger King and work. I mean, you got to do both. Take care of the baby, then you got them out there doing your part too. Now, we know a lot of people, because the vectors are ignorance. But if you know this and you're doing it, then you're part of resistance. Because you're supposed to be setting an example, spreading that light, so they will have so they can see to do it. Because it's all a matter of fear. I have no fear, so I've never had no problem. My wife, she finally figured out because she would say, man, you don't worry about anything. We just move into dark, we move into dark situations all the time. Hey man, something happened here, hey, well, I'm out of here. I remember one time, let me move on, boss. I remember one time, we moved to a place in, I said, we got to leave out of here, right? Well, some bullshit went down, right? Well, we ain't found any place, and we haven't had time to find a place, and they probably gives a bad reference, and all these negative stuff. She stopped doing that now, but and I said, man, stop all that. I said, don't worry. We'll find a place. We ain't gonna be homeless. And so I had to go see a client or something, right? I get a call from her, right? Oh man, I went out, I went down the street, went over this place over here, and I found a place. It's beautiful. I said, okay. I thought you tell me all this negative stuff, and I ain't even, and you found it. I was out here seeing this client here, and you call me, and I said, don't worry about anything. I said, I love the place. It's been here before, see her? And it doesn't even cost as much, see her? That's the way it works. And it's not work for you, because you're full of fear. That means you're still stuck with the devil, and the devil's going to take it out, so all the fearful will be thrown in the lake of fire. Let me move on. I need to move on, boss. Yeah. I didn't mean to be this long. Okay, this is what I want to show here. Oh man, I did it again? I just fixed it. Hold on, boss. I just fixed it and still do it again. Hold on. Oh, one of those days. I tell you, I tell you about this day, you wouldn't believe it. To my experience of the last 24 hours, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't. Now, why is that? Why did you change back? Okay, whatever. Okay, there it is. Oh, boy. You just wouldn't believe it. Okay, I'm going to say this and close out. See, all the information is there, brothers. See what it says right here? And were it not for Allah repelling some men by others, the earth would certainly be in a state of disorder. Allah is full of grace to the world. What it says? Anybody understand what it says right there? And were it not for Allah's repelling some men by others, the earth would certainly be in a state of disorder. He's talking about pressure. He's telling you pressure is what's driving this thing. That's collisions. Repelling some by others. That's pressure. He said, if it wasn't for that, this whole thing would fall apart. If it wasn't for pressure, pressure holds the whole thing together. It would certainly be a state of disorder. But see, you don't understand. You can't read this stuff. That's exactly what Quran is saying. If it wasn't for pressure, this whole thing would fall apart. Because pressure is the nature of it. Men repelling others. Right? That's pressure. That's the pressure we went under Holocaust. They're repelling of us. They're pressure against us. We're not from men repelling. That's their translation, but I would use a better translation, but that's good enough. And we're not for Allah repelling some men by others. The earth would certainly be in a state of disorder. And that men repelling others, that's pressure. Pure and simple. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Okay, again? Okay, well, Assalamu alaikum. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, there you go. That's something about sisters.